So after being able to ride Jurassic World The Ride 6 times and having about a week to really think about and analyze the ride, I think it's about time we review Jurassic World The Ride. So pretty much this will be my thoughts and opinions about the ride. It's kind of hard to compare this ride without comparing the original Jurassic Park The Ride, so expect a lot of that. But anyways, let's begin with this review of Jurassic World The Ride. Starting off with the pros of the ride. And one of the big pros in this ride is that you do get wet. That might be a con for some people, but it's a water ride. What more do you expect? You expect to get wet. And they definitely brought in more elements for you to be able to get wet, especially during the Mosasaurus tank. I sat in the front, I've sat in the back, and I've sat in the middle. Just know that if you're in the front, you get soaked. If you're in the back, you're a little bit safer. Moving on, the best thing about this ride is definitely the fact that the ending has been improved. The ending in the original Jurassic Park was a little dull. The T-Rex Kingdom has definitely been reamped. That way it looks more like a jungle theme to it. And that way they're able to hide the animatronics better. And it just looks way better than all those like metal bars, like you're in like some type of warehouse or something where the T-Rex gonna come attack you. Now this feels a little bit more natural. It has a lot of more like ambient light and stuff, like just warning. And that to me is a huge improvement. The Indominus Rex, even though some people do seem to have some issue with it, in my opinion, it looks amazing. It looks very much like how it did in the movie. People are saying it could look cheap or it's not that good. In the movie, this is an entirely new dinosaur and it's completely made up. And even in the movie, it looks kind of off, but it looks cool. And here, it looks exactly like the movie, so I don't know what people are expecting from the Indominus Rex. But I personally do like it. It looks legit. Like if this dinosaur was real, I feel like the ride makes it look more realer than in the movie, which just had a bunch of CGI in it. And of course, the praise of all the animatronics. Blue looks amazing. Especially how he walks. It's very cool how they did it. And this last pro is both a pro and a con. You'll see what I'm talking about. The middle section, the controversial middle section, where there is nothing going on. I'm putting this as a pro just because it builds little suspense. It's not the greatest, granted, but it does build a bit of suspense because as you're going through, all you see is the Indominus Rex has escaped its captivity and you see its passive destruction, the claws all over the walls, the screens all messing up, and the gates to the T-Rex Kingdom is like thrown to hell, and the sign even is like thrown down from where he hit it. And it's supposed to build a little bit of suspense. That way, once you capture the Indominus Rex, like, oh my god, it's right there. It's what it did, all this passive destruction thing. But that also leads me to my con section for this ride, which, unfortunately, that middle section is also boring. Because really what we're here to see during the ride are the dinosaurs. And during this huge chunk of the ride, there's hardly any. I mean, again, it does build some suspense, but it is overall just a boring little part of the ride. Which brings me to another con part of this ride, which is the story. It's very inconsistent for the most part for me. Like when you start off the ride, you're at the tank of the Mosasaurus, which is cool because you go on the lift and then you fall down and you're at the Mosasaurus. And like for some odd reason, the tank just ends and you're in the Stegosaurus section of the original Jurassic Park ride. And like that transition feels kind of weird because the Mosasaurus is like this beast and it's gonna attack you and stuff. And once you go to like the Stegosaurus section, it feels like that whimsical, amazing feeling that the Jurassic Park The Ride had. Those two transitions don't work for me. Because how are you going to have a like terror beast of a dinosaur then lead up to like this, oh look, it's magical, the dinosaurs are magical. And then the story doesn't really start until like once you pass the Stegosaurus section and you see the Indominus Rex escape, which then just has a boring section, which then leads to the best part of the T-Rex kingdom. And speaking of the T-Rex kingdom leads me to my last con, which is at the current moment, the ride is extremely out of sync. Like the ending right before you're supposed to drop, that's when you're supposed to encounter the T-Rex. Out of my 6 ride-throughs, the only one that managed to pull that off mostly successfully was my first ride through, because when I went to ride Jurassic World, I was there like at 7:30 in the morning. So I was among the first boat to get on the ride that day. And that was the only time I was able to experience the ride how it's supposed to be, with the right amount of timing. My other 5 times experienced the ride, each one was different due to the timing of the T-Rex coming out to get you right before the fall. Sometimes you'd be way back here and the T-Rex would come out and just shut down before you even did the fall. Other times you kind of got the same thing happening, but right before the fall, the T-Rex reactivated again. So the ending really needs to be adjusted, or they need to time it better, or something needs to happen to just make it all in sync and to work a lot better. One thing I do want to address, the Mosasaurus tank is kind of like whatever to me. Like, it's not a good thing and it's not a bad thing. It's an alright thing. It's nothing major, just screens with the dinosaur swimming, and then it hits the glass to kind of attack you, and then it just goes off, which again, story-wise is inconsistent, because why isn't it continue attacking you? Why did it just decide to randomly attack the glass? But overall, as far as this ride goes, I do like it. I know some of the cons seem like a big deal, but it's a good ride, don't get me wrong. Is it better than the original? That's mainly up to you, the viewer. I can't speak for you, you can't speak for me. It's all about personal experiences. Someone who might not even have ridden the Jurassic Park, the original ride, wouldn't even care. They'll probably get on it, have a great time. I've ridden both. I have a great time here, even though there are major problems with it, especially the ending. The ending to me just is worse the ride alone. The original Jurassic Park, the ride, was the best ride at Universal while it was there. And I feel like Jurassic World, although may not be a great comparison to the original, I do feel like it still holds up the best ride of Universal Studios Hollywood. But in the following days, there will be another video where I try to improve Jurassic World The Ride. So make sure you stay tuned on that. So if you don't miss more theme park stuff, fun stuff, and nerd stuff, make sure to hit the subscribe button. What are your thoughts and opinions about Jurassic World The Ride? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like Jurassic World The Ride or the original, make sure to drop that like. And as always, guys, I hope to see you all in the next video.